Okay, I'm back for part 2, which is a separate journal, but that's okay. This is 7/5/2010, the fourth journal of that day, Mayan Day 1, Sun, Lord, or Light. It's called The Bum and the Businessman, Lessons in Light, or Mayan Day 1 Initiates Sun Energy, Part 2. Though this story stands on its own, and so this journal can be read or the video watched by itself, please know that it follows on the one that went right before it, 7/5, third one of the day. I'll upload them together so that the fuller context is there for those who are interested. The story is about what happens on the surface of life and just what might be working below that. It's about judging things based on their looks, on what appears to be so clearly the truth to the mind. Karma we may bear, my friends, and dharma our way be, but we just can't know by the looking what is what. That's just arrogant mind that thinks it's got everything figured out. Lost my place. And has made sense of the lot. Well, phooey, that's what I say. Forget that. Set it aside. Come pick it up later if you like, but put it aside for now. You don't know. Remember the mantra, to mind for mind. Don't think that you do. It's safer that way anyway. So here's a neat tale to illustrate that, being hard to listen, though it makes sense even to mind, believe it or not. Apologies if you've heard this one before. I know I told it somewhere, but in all those journals, I couldn't tell you where. There were two men, two beings who were great soul friends. They'd spent many lifetimes together in this or that relationship to one another. They were close. It was clear that one was a good bit farther along on the path than the other, but that didn't matter. Love doesn't count that. Doesn't even see such things. It's just what was. They both knew it. It didn't matter to love. So there they were, planning their next incarnation together in yet another way they would be. The one who wasn't so far along was a bit frustrated with something. It seemed that every time he came into a situation of wealth, was given riches, he would blow it in some way. Either the money he would spend too quickly and wrongly as far as benefiting his soul, or he would just get selfish and hoard it, and also not to the benefit of his soul or his path. So that was his challenge, and one he was delightedly determined to master. Now enter the friend, the one with more light. Here's how they incarnated in that life. The bright one, the light one, incarnated as a drunk, a bum on the street corner. And I pause here to let that sink in. Light as bum. Yes, it happens. We come in as street sweepers and prostitutes too, ho ho, as anything. Okay, now, this was a busy downtown neighborhood where our light one, our drunk bum, was living on the street, where his friend would walk his way to work. With the high rises all around, the stacked parking lots, our friend would have to park his car, walk a little way to his job in tall office way up high. Once again, he's a wealthy man, has good position, handling finances, perhaps for others. I don't know, not part of the story. So each day as our rich friend walks both to and from work, there's this drunk over there. He crosses the street, keeps his distance for a while, but over time, something calls to him. A good feeling he has about him, that homeless bum. Such a warm feeling there. It perplexes him, makes him ponder away on it, goes to work, goes back home, work and home, work and home. As he ponders, considers during his days and nights, now and then, things begin to change inside. He softens toward the bum. He doesn't notice this, but it happens. He's been pondering how his life is so blessed. Then look at that guy. He can't escape the sight of his plight. So very poor, no bed at night even, much less a home. He worries over that. It bothers him, nags at his conscience, at his awareness of what is fair. He's not crossing the road to the other side anymore these days. He walks right by. He's not attacked. He's losing fear. The bum's becoming human to him, becoming even a friend at heart. He's thought about him so much. They exchange friendly greetings these days as he walks right on by. Then one day, he stops to listen, to ask some questions of this drunk. Now, when he has the time, he shares a few minutes. They get to know each other a little bit, a little better than just their roles in this life. Heart to heart, now and again, they share. They're opening up as they can in their roles in this life. It's not long, my friend, before our businessman is sharing something, a bit of his wealth to help the bum out. Now, don't think the lesson is how our businessman rescues the bum. It don't go like that, so listen up. The bum buys alcohol with the money, and our friend figures this out. So the friend buys shoes for him, other things like that. Be sure he has them. The bum's still a bum. Doesn't change. Stays like that. Yet, here's the thing. The big, bright blessing. The whole reason behind that. I don't know about reason, but anyway. Because our bum was there, the businessman had to pass him there. Every day was there. He made a difference in the life of his rich friend. His rich friend was there, got the reminder each day of those less blessed than he, and how they needed help. He knew he could provide. He was so wealthy. I mean, that was clear. So, in the life of our businessman, he finally succeeds. He found his heart in the midst of his wealth. So hard to do. He learned how to share, learned the blessings of that, had the sense of the one, how we're all family. And he wasn't trying to rescue the world either. He wasn't trying to change anybody. That's a part of the beauty of this as well. I mean, when you think of all those lifetimes trying and failing again and again, this is beautiful. And so, victorious over this terrible challenge in front of which he'd failed so often, this time he succeeded. The light of his friend was there, quietly supporting him in this guise of the bum. Now, fancy that. The mind could come in and try to analyze, of course, how much of the bum's karmic weight that he bore was his, how much his friend's, how much maybe even world karma made up the weight that he bore with his suffering there. But it just doesn't matter, really, does it? He just bore it. Pretty simple. The point is, however, that it isn't his, not all of it. He carries it for others because he can. That's part of his service to life, the service of his heart. His advancement on the path, his bright light, enables him to do that for others, and the love in his heart would have it no other way. Simple as pie. He doesn't think about it at all. Open your heart to this, please. See the world through these new eyes. A bum's not a bum unless you stay on the surface of life. Some of them are, of course, and some of them aren't. We just cannot judge. Life doesn't work like that. It's not so simple, and yet it is. Oh well, this works for us too, you know. It's at work everywhere. As for our businessman friend, though his light was the lesser compared to his friend, yet on the surface of life he looked to be king of things, and a beautiful soul. The way of his sharing brought blessing to so many. This lifetime for him became a blessing indeed. Yet, how much of that was really due to his friend? The support that he had in that life to do this together. I hope that you see that. I'm sure that you do. We work with each other. Many others support you, support me, support us. We have bright friends of light pretty much everywhere. And we are friends of light too. We support others as well as being supported. We're a network, an antikarana, my friends. Truly one being we are. Enter in. Take your place on the throne of light, right there in your heart. That's where you join with the rest. You enter in, more consciously play your part. Good day, and God's blessings be upon you.